All right, it's March 24th. All right, and we're in the beginning of the shutdown. Um, so I want to talk to you about this shutdown, especially mechanics versus helpers. All right, I was self-employed under Bush, under Obama, and now under Trump. And when I was doing my apprenticeship program, I was taught that you should have 6 weeks of pay set aside as a mechanic. Your goal as a mechanic should be to have 6 weeks of pay set aside, just sitting there. Okay, it doesn't have to do anything. And because mechanics usually would get laid off, and especially if you're a subcontractor, and I grew up being a subcontractor, mechanics would get laid off first. Okay, and every winter we would fear if we slowed down we would get laid off. So it was always a good rule of thumb to have 6 weeks of pay set aside, and that's what we did. You know, it wasn't that hard. But helpers can't do that. Okay, so right now with this shutdown, the mechanics should be all right. Okay, mechanics, you know the game, all right, but helpers don't. Like, helpers are getting hit in the face right now. I personally, I'm trying to pay my helpers through this. Okay, trying to give them something to do, or hopefully they're reading and they're educating themselves in this trade. This is a great opportunity to better yourself as an electrician, to study electrical work. This isn't difficult. Okay, I understand the times can be stressful, but you have an opportunity to read. I understand that the TV and the news cycle has nonstop corona, nonstop, but you can take this time to better yourself. All right. That's really the number one thing here. We haven't really been out of work that long. 2 weeks. Under Obama, I went slow from December 20th all the way through to almost the late February. Okay, that's almost 3 months that we went slow, and I was still comfortable with it. We picked back up. We had a day or two of work a week. Okay, but it was just a slow time period. There was no, and it is what it is. There was times under Obama we were busy, but I was already prepared for it. I already had money set aside because during my apprenticeship program, that was what I was taught. And if there's mechanics living full tilt, meaning if there are mechanics living to the nth degree of their paycheck, that's not good. They just got caught with their pants down. All right. As a mechanic, you're supposed to be putting aside maybe 10% of your paycheck. Okay. And during the good times, which we've had for the last 2 years, it's been rock and roll. That's about 105 paychecks. Okay, if you're doing weekly paychecks, about 105 of them. Okay, and if you just take 1/10 of one, that's 5 paychecks, full paychecks. You should have set aside easily. All right. Okay, that means that's 5 weeks of pay that you should have set aside by doing the math on this last 2-year run. All right. So hang in there. I know it's a little tough right now, and I understand that the fear is on TV, but it will pass. Okay. Don't spend your money. Just pay your bills and do the best you can. Okay. And right now we're in a lockdown. I understand that. Okay. But the lockdown will ease up a little bit. We'll start being able to do we'll be able to go. If the job is an isolated job, I'll start bidding on isolated work. Okay, and then that way my guys can get moving again. But until then, just hang in there. All right. Thank you for watching. God bless. Be safe.